So what I've got here to show you today is this little interface device. It takes about 30 minutes to build. The schematic is available on NES Dev. And what it does is it connects your NES to a tape deck. And the reason why you would want to do this is because Excitebike, well, relatively. See, when we were kids, we'd get into Excitebike and be like, hey, there's a save and load function? Alright. So you'd make a really elaborate track and then you'd go to save it and you'd sit there and you'd wait and you'd wait and you'd wait. And then you'd go outside and play with your friends and you'd come back and you'd be like, let me show you this cool track, man. And then you'd hit load. And you'd sit there forever. Maybe you'd go outside for another 2 hours and come back and it'd still be there. And you'd be like, well, I guess my game's broken. Well, it wasn't broken. It was listening for tape data that wasn't there because there was no way to interface one. Well, now there is. So let's demonstrate. I'm going to design a track. It's not going to be particularly elaborate. One of the things that bugs me about this track editor over the one in versus Excitebike is just kind of how it doesn't really... You have to memorize what each one is. So I'm just going to make something really, really messed up. There we go. Perfect. Alright. Hit end. One lap. I'm going to play it. And one of the things that's actually really interesting about this whole thing is that this tape deck interface, when you hook it up and you get it set up, you can actually use this to save the time as well as the track. So whatever time that it takes me to beat this track, that will be considered the number one. And then when I come back and load it up, it'll still know that time. And you could be like, oh, hey, kid, try to beat this track I made, and then whether or not they'd be able to beat your time was up to them, but it added an element of depth that just isn't really there otherwise. All right, so we're going to save it. Now, something I need to explain for some of you maybe is that the NES does not control the tape deck at all. You do. So you have to press record, you have to press play. The NES doesn't even realize there's a tape deck installed at all. All it's doing is saying, oh, I'm hearing data come in. Well, that's the power. Over here. What's going on? It doesn't care that there's a tape deck. So I'm going to turn it off, let the RAM empty out, turn it back on. Now, let me show you. There's nothing in here. Woo. Yeah, it's completely empty. Get up there. Come on. There we go. So I'm going to hit load. This time it's actually going to work. You'll see a little N101 right here in a second. It's really crazy. You should probably rewind the tape first. That's another thing, you gotta rewind. That's why it didn't work. I don't know if you could hear that. You can actually hear it coming through the speakers. There's the N101 telling you you did good. There it is. It's done. Let's turn the volume down before we blow out our ears. Let's play it. There's our time. Wait, that's not our time. Is this another track? Oh, this is a completely different track. Alright. Well, let's load. This is... Okay. Let's load another track. You can hold as many tracks as you want on a tape. So... I have 2 tracks on this tape apparently now. Yay. The only problem is that if you don't have a tape deck with a counter on it, you're not going to know where each track is on the tape. So you're just going to have to keep loading and loading and loading. As far as how many kilobytes a tape can hold, it depends on the length of the tape. All right, let's do our newest track. Here we go. There's our best time. Let's go. With this, you can hold as many tracks as you want, but it's not as simple as just playing versus Excitebike, I must say. That really was an improvement in almost every way. So I couldn't beat my own time. And this also works with Wrecking Crew and Mach Rider, of course, but Excitebike's the one that everybody gets excited about. So yeah, that's this little interface card. I don't really know what you could call it. It's available for anybody to build. It's on NES Dev. I have a link for it in the description. Thank you so much for watching.